Ah, ha, 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 ha. All right. All right. How's my camera? We squared up? What's up, everybody? Welcome into Studio De Heffrey. I'm Jeff. And this is for the psychos. This one is for the psychos. And you know who you are. People who, no matter what month of the year it is, you're in the chat talking about mock draft, mock draft, mock draft. This one is for the psychos. We're going to fart around a little bit. I tried to do a 2-round mock draft. Was it a week or two ago? And boy, I found out in a hurry I wasn't ready to actually do a 2-round mock draft. If you haven't seen enough guys and you start off watching top guys, you get to your second pick and you don't know who the hell they are. I'm ready now. I'm going to try 3. Because I've seen, I don't know, how many people have I seen? Hold on. I can put the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat of my draft board. It's right there. That's how many people I've seen. I don't know the number, 45, 50. But we might be able to go 3 rounds deep, try to fix a football team. We might be able to. Next week, I'll surely be 3-round ready. I'm easily 2-round ready, unless it gets wild, which it can get wild. Let's play a little hot dog or the bun.
Now, this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog, too.
Right. Jerry Jones is hell-bent on breaking the team and running off the entire fan base. But you know what? We'll still be here. Drafting. There's my friend Aaron. Hi, friend. He's in the chat. That's my bestie. Jeff's not leaving the mock draft without grabbing Savion. Oh, let him be there in the second round and see what happens. I don't know the legalities. I know people will put the all 22 that they have up on the internet. I've never done that because, one, the people that give me access to it, I don't want them to get in trouble. And 2, I don't want YouTube to turn my money off. So I don't know the rules. So I probably won't be putting film up there. But boy, what round are we taking receiver? Maybe all 3. We'll find out. We can't know until we go. Shout out to Jerry Jones for being a terrible person, leaving Mike McCarthy in limbo right now. Just shout out to Jerry Jones. What an incredible man. Worst owner, general manager in the world of sports. Shout out to you, Jerry. Guy's the worst. Just so bad. Why am I doing that? Who cares? We'll see if Mike McCarthy's back. I don't know if you guys saw, but it's been like 24 hours since the Bears asked if they could interview Mike McCarthy, and the Cowboys literally have not responded. So if they don't bring him back, they're not letting him go try to find another job. And if they are bringing him back, even though the hay's been in the barn for a long time, they haven't worked out the parameters of that up until the last second. It is the most Cowboy thing ever. But more likely what's happening is the Cowboys know exactly what they're going to do, but they thoroughly have enjoyed the last 5 hours on ESPN. Everyone's speculating about the Cowboys and the fact that they haven't responded to the Bears' request to interview Mike McCarthy. Jerry's having a great time being in the headlines while running the team like an inept no-name calling. Anywho, here we are. Yeah, your boy's about 50 guys into the draft. So we can go find us some players. We can have some fun. Please, in the chat, fire off if there's a guy you like, if there's a guy you want me to pick. Is there a position you want? What position do I need? What position do I got to come out of the first 2 or 3 rounds with? How long do the Cowboys have to respond to the Bears? I mean, technically, they don't have to respond. The Cowboys have an exclusive negotiating window with Mike up until the 14th. So it's in his contract. They're not doing anything wrong. But you know if you're bringing him back or not. And if you're not, let him go try to get a job. And if you are, then do it. But that's not how the Cowboys do things. You got to stay in the headlines. Have I told you this has become a new thing over the last couple of weeks? Mini rant before we get to drafting. Mini rant. It's just that I think that, okay, yep, you might have heard me say this before, and I don't care because I'm going to say it a lot because it's how I feel. It's how I feel. And if it's how you feel, you need to get it out. The difference between bad and average in the NFL can be like that. The difference between average and pretty good is like that. The difference between sneaking into the playoffs and not being in the playoffs is like that. The difference between winning a division and sneaking into the playoffs is like that. The difference between the real contenders and the kind of contenders is like that. Like it's a bunch of this, right? It's a bunch of micro peens is the differences for what makes the difference on how your team is. And all of the little things that the Cowboys intentionally let slip, those add up to why your 12-5 never feels like you're actually in the mix, because you're not. Because you're doing so many things that wrong that it adds up to that wrong, and other teams are trying their best. So anyway, running back or wide receiver, Robert Saleh, Jack Sawyer, guard if Zach is retiring. Zach's absolutely retiring. Get ready for that. Sarcastro, I love that 4 people understood the assignment and liked before the stream even started. We do like that. If you hit the like button, it's good for the algorithm. If the algorithm pushes this to people, more people watch it. If more people watch it, your boy gets to pay off the pool one day. Andrews and Super. How does Jerry Selson bring back McCarthy? Been a fan since I was 6, and I don't know how I can get excited about the year if he's back. I mean, who else is he going to bring in? Like, how are you going to sell whoever they bring in? I don't know. It's Jerry, dude. It's Jerry. You can sell anything. If he ain't shit else, he's a salesman. He can sell anything. All right, let's pull up the thing. Let's see here. How do I do this? I know how to do this. Share screen. Share screen, mock draft simulator, share. All right, we good? We're squared away. Oh, look at that. I think I can move this over here and this over. Oh my God, I just figured out how to do half screens on my computer. So I can do over here and you guys can see it and I can see the chat. Oh my God. Imagine if I didn't get the job at DLLS and I was doing YouTube full time, just straight YouTube. Because I don't know how to do crap on a computer. I had to call Skywalker Steel, try to figure it out. Speed, super fast, board, more public than Pro Football Focus. Yeah. Care for positional value? Sure. A little bit. Somewhat more. A decent amount? I don't know. Draft for needs? Sure. Randomness? Not a whole lot. Cool. How do I start it? Where's the start button? Oh, it's at the bottom. All right. You guys ready for Captain Trade Down to ride? Because you know what I like to do. Your boy likes to trade down. Oh my God, this would be the best first 11 picks of all time. This would be amazing. Is a pool payment for a middle-aged man the same thing as student debt for young adults? Yes, probably. So if you look at the Jeffrey board, you will find that I have, let me click over here and see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15 first-round grades, something like that. Something like 15 first-round grades. And Ashton Genty is one of them. Kelvin Banks is one of them. Jalen Walker is one of them. Josh Simmons is one of them. Emeka Ibuka is one of them. Michael Williams is one of them. So 11 people have picked, and they left me so many of my first-round guys. Show me the whole draft. Who do people pick? Cam Ward, Tet McMillan, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, Shadur Sanders, Luther Burden, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks, Nick Scorton, Will Campbell. Okay, that's not unrealistic. So this could be a fairly realistic look at guys who, how do I get back to where I'm trying to be? Go back. No. Don't cancel the draft. Hold on. How do I get back? Oh, it's over there now. Okay. Let me get that. Okay. All right, people. So here's what we're going to do. Who wants to trade? Tampa wants to come up from 21. I'd make that hurt on you, Tampa. You'd have to give me your second round pick, maybe, and then some. I'd have to look up the points. What would it be? One, bang, bang. Likely accepted. How about bang? Could you really get a 1, a 2, and a 3 to go from 21 to 12? I don't know if it's realistic. But the thing is I believe that if I did, I really got to figure out how to work their website. Full draft. Okay, but where are the players? Oh, it's probably on this screen, huh? Where I'm on the trade thing and I need to get rid of the trade thing. How do I get, draft a player right there. Idiot. So yeah, I got 4 options that I really, really like. And if it had an option to trade down like 3 spots, I'd do it in a heartbeat. 4 spots. Yeah. Because these 5, do you guys see where my mouse goes? I don't even know. Genty, Banks, Walker, Simmons, Ibuka. I could take any 5 of them. Cowboys deny request for Mike McCarthy. Is that official? Let me check. I checked right before I went live just because I didn't want to be going live and not know something about Mike McCarthy. Let's see. Mike McCarthy. The Cowboys denied permission to the Chicago Bears to interview their head coach, Mike McCarthy. Okay, so McCarthy's coming back. Right? I mean, that's as official as that's going to get. Mike McCarthy will be coming back. Do you guys think that's because of me? You're welcome, Mike. I got this story to go. I got it moving. I've been really mean to Jerry lately. I'm going to take credit for all this. I'm going to say because I've been so mean to Jerry, he's decided to announce this on a Tuesday instead of waiting for Wild Card Weekend. I mean, that sounds like it means Mike McCarthy's going to be coming back. We'll wait to hear that officially, but that sounds like a Mike McCarthy is coming back, and that is very meh to me. But also, what else are they going to do? I don't know if they're going to do anything better. I like your content, Jeff. You should have a say in running the boys. You can't let me run your team. You can't let me do that. I'd be crazy. I'd be a psycho. You can offer teams below you. Okay, so let's I love Kelvin Banks. And if he's the next guy off the board, I'll be really sad to lose him. I really like Ashton Genty. And you guys know me, I hate running backs. I really like Jalen Walker. Simmons and okay, quick scatter report on all these guys. Ashton Genty, badass, super badass, incredible running back. You can't tackle him with one person. He's a monster. I had people asking me after their playoff game, like, you still like Genty? And I'm like, yeah, he broke 17 tackles in one game, in that game, to average 4 yards a carry. Ashton Genty's a monster. Penn State just had the next 25 best players on the field. Ashton Genty is a stud. Problem is, in a first round, like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery aren't as good as they are if you don't have a great line like they do in Detroit. Derrick Henry doesn't do what he's doing right now without Lamar being next to him and that offensive line. Saquon Barkley doesn't have the year he's had, obviously, because we've seen him play a lot of years already without the awesome line in Philadelphia. So while I do want a good running back, we do have to recognize that if you can't block that well, they will not dominate the world. Yes, Tanner, it sounds like it's official that the Cowboys declined the interview request for McCarthy from the Chicago Bears. That was from Adam Schefter about 2 minutes ago. How does Genty compare to previous year's top backs? Really well. I might have liked Bijan Robinson a touch more, but that sort of player. He's a stud. Genty's a stud. I would love to have Genty. I love Kelvin Banks. Would we rather put our faith into Brock Hoffman as our starting right guard and Tyler Guyton at tackle and roll with Genty? Because that line kind of survived as the year went along, even though Guyton kept getting benched. Would we rather take the offensive lineman? And here's, quick scouting report on all of these players. Ashton Genty, I already did. He's a stud. The end. Kelvin Banks, like 6'4", 320 pounds, left tackle at Texas, never gives up a pressure, never gives up a sack. I think technically gave up one sack against Michael Williams at Georgia, but basically you line him up with all the other top offensive lineman prospects in this draft, and he wins as giving up the least hits, pressure, sacks, all those things. And I believe what makes him different for me from the other top guys is he's also the best people mover of those top guys. A lot of guys can latch on and try to direct people in the run game. Kelvin Banks has that roll through your hips and move a son of a biscuit. He's got that in his bag too. I am a big Kelvin Banks fan. Levi's in the super chat. Thanks for being a real person and not lying to our face like Jerry Jones. You're a real one. You're welcome. I like Mike, but holy hell, how does he move the needle anyway? Does this mean Jerry's going to play in free agency? If he doesn't play in free agency, they're dead. I mean, dead. If they don't mess with free agency, they're going to be dead. Is Genty a generational back? We got to be careful with that word because people say that a lot of people are generational backs. And if the word is generational, then I don't think people know how generation works. I think the best running back in the league right now is Bijan Robinson. I know that's a weird thing to say with Barkley and Henry, but I think they're both in better situations with the blocking and respect for other guys on their team, I think Bijan's the best running back in the league. I don't think Ginty is the best running back in the league on day one, but I think he's really, really good. And that's part of draft stuff. Part of draft stuff is, what will Ashton Ginty make if he's the 12th pick? Hold on. 2024 NFL draft. Because part of the idea behind the draft is how much value are you getting out of a rookie deal. So 12th overall pick last year was Bo Nix. Bo Nix contract. 4 years, $18.6 million. What about the 5th year option? The 5th year option would be, we won't know yet because it depends if he makes Pro Bowls and stuff. So 12th overall pick, 12, 16, 4.5, $5 million a year. The highest paid running backs in the league get about 13. So you're paying 40% of that for a running back. Let's say you had a stud wide receiver at number 12 and he's making that. The best wide receivers make 36 or whatever $1 million. There's more value there, right? Offensive lineman, there's more value there. Pass rusher, there's more value there. Quarterback, obviously, there's more value there. And that's part of the draft thing. The other part of the draft thing is how confident are you that the player is going to be great? If Banks and Walker and Simmons and Ibuka were gone, and you're talking about this list of names, Ursery, Milam, Morrison, Loveland, Williams. Oh, Michael Williams could absolutely be the pick here. Sorry, I almost forgot about him. But your confidence level in I'm going to hit here goes down. Ashton Ginty's going to be Ashton Ginty. I have no questions about the prospect. Most of the other guys, after you remove 4 or 5 more guys from the equation, I do. So if this looked a little bit differently, I would take Ginty. In this scenario, technically, by my player rankings, Ginty's the best player available. Let's see who's next. I put my board in the chat, right? Ginty, I need my stack. Ginty's my 2nd best player. Banks is my 5th best player, and he's an offensive lineman, more valuable position. Jalen Walker is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th best player. 10th best player is Michael Williams. 11 is Ibuka. 13 is Simmons. I think I have to take Kelvin Banks. What if I take Kelvin Banks and then we can rerun one and see if I can trade down and still get Ginty, or I would love Ibuka in the middle of the 1st round. I think I got to take the offensive lineman. Although a lot of people, some people might want to roll with the offensive line you have. I think a lot of people want to see Brock Hoffman start at guard, and Guyton will be in year 2, so you're going to try it, right? I believe in picking the best player at the spot and factoring in positional value. I have to take Kelvin Banks. If you play him at guard, I think he can be a Hall of Famer. If you play him at tackle, I think he can be a solid rookie. Somewhere between okay and good. I think he can do that as a rookie. Guyton, I thought, needed to not play as a rookie. He needed development. And now the snaps he did play might not even be a net positive for him because it might have just made him feel bad about himself. I have to take Banks. Jeff just can't take the running back. I don't think I can. I can't. Let me rephrase. I can. I could take Ginty over Emeka Ibuka. I could take Ginty over Josh Simmons. Josh Simmons, Ohio State. He's my number 2 offensive tackle in this draft. He's a really nice player. He was having a really nice season for Ohio State. Knee injury ended his season. So a guy coming off of injury that's my number 2 offensive tackle, I'll take Ginty over him. A guy that I think is the best tackle or guard in the draft, I will not take the running back over him. I could take Ashton Ginty over Jalen Walker. And Jalen Walker is one of my 10 best players in this draft because I do have some questions about Jalen Walker. He's a little bit of a hybrid guy. He's, 6'2", 245, something like that. And he plays off-ball linebacker and he rushes off of the edge. And he's really good at both. but you got to know what you're doing with him and have a plan. If he's a full-time edge on this team, can you do that with him and Parsons and be that small on the edge? Are they both going to play some linebacker? If Walker was just a linebacker, would you take in the top 10? Absolutely. Or top 12? Absolutely not. If he was just an edge player, would I take him in the top 12? Maybe. Kind of depends on your team. Ibuka. I think Ibuka is going to be somebody's number 2 receiver for a long time. And I think he's as pro-ready as a wide receiver can be. I don't think he's anybody's number 1. It's like all the guys I got questions, right? I could take Ashton Genty over them. I can't take him over Kelvin Banks. I can't do it. I can't do it. Supposed to trust your stack, Jeff. That's another thing. People who do the draft all do it differently. My stack is absolutely a lie. And a stack is when you take all of your first round grades and now you put them in order. Because what I did is I put them in order of how good they are and clearly not the order I would pick them in. So I should probably change my stack to make it easier. That would make a lot of sense. If I went, no, factor in the positional value so we don't have to debate it while we're on the clock. And then I would go over here to my stack. Actually, let's do it right now. I'll change my stack on my rankings. Do I really think Mason Graham's the second best player? Graham goes up to 2. I would take Abdul Carter over Ashton Genty. I would take Banks over Genty. Would I take Will Johnson, Michigan corner, over Genty? Probably. I would. I would take Ashton Genty over Tet McMillan. So Tet McMillan is the point where my questions about the top guys start. And that is what I talk about. I mean, if I'm honest with myself, I might need to move Ibuka up. I have questions about everybody. And Will Johnson's not a perfect prospect. You could put Genty ahead of him. That's how a running back gets up high for me. This is a, how do you say it respectfully, bad top of the draft. Jalen Walker's a fairly clean well, he's fairly clean in terms of like football character and ability, but he's not built like an edge and he's not built like a linebacker, but he does both. Like you've got the tweener game going on there. And so that's just not totally clean. Tet McMillan has monster production over 3 years. He's a 6'5" guy that moves well for that size and actually has a little after catch for that size and has a big catch radius, makes a bunch of contested catches. I don't think that he's a great athlete for that size, and I don't think that he uses that size in terms of winning in physical ways, in ways that you wish that he did. I have questions about Tet McMillan. But he could be a really good X receiver. He could be somebody's number 1 receiver, and that's the draft game. The draft game is, how comfortable do you feel with a guy versus what can a guy be? If it's how comfortable are you projecting him and what he's going to be, I could move Emeka Ibuka, the Ohio State wide receiver, up. He's 6'1", he's 200 pounds, he blocks his ass off, he's a savvy route runner, he catches everything. But I don't think he's going to be anybody's number 1. I think he's going to be somebody's number 2 for a long time. Can you pick that in the top 10? Or are you taking a bigger swing? Sorry. When you're ADHD, your streams just turn into stream of consciousness stuff. It's Johnny Walker Blue Edge, Missouri. Is like is that the name of a Missouri Edge? If it is, I haven't seen him yet. But that would be funny. Jeff, ain't nobody scared of Rico. Yeah, and that is potentially a positive with a running back, is if people know that you used a high pick on him and people think that he's a wonderful player, maybe linebackers step forward a little bit more. Maybe they play you to run a little bit more. Now the passing game is helped by that. I can't prove that with analytics, but I think there's something there. Okay, so what do? We took an offensive lineman. How do you feel about Ibuka's speed? I don't understand the speed questions on Ibuka. I think Ibuka's about to go run a 4.42 or something at the combine. But whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. All right, second round. Boy, you know what could absolutely happen here is when you start taking best player, Done. My favorite player in the draft is here. Savion Williams, TCU wide receiver, is my favorite player in the draft. And is there bust potential? Oh, yes. Yes, there is. High school quarterback. 6'5", 225, but that never led to dominant production as a wide receiver. When TCU couldn't run the ball and they thought the running back sucked, they moved Savion Williams to Wildcat quarterback and placed him running back, and he turned into jumbo-sized Deebo Samuel. I think he's going to destroy the combine, but he is 6'5", 225 pounds, unpolished wide receiver, drops the ball. I'm going to list so many negative things. There's some inconsistency to it. He will drop passes, but also, and he's raw as a wide receiver, but he also shows you things that shouldn't be possible. Like that dude could get 8 yards of separation on a slant when he gives you a nice release or when he tosses somebody aside or whatever, and he'll run over 73 people in a play. Savion Williams is a freak show, and if we're going to have Mike McCarthy, I doubt that we could figure out how to use him. But my God, do I love him. There's Scattaboo. Oh, Pro Football Focus moved him way up in their updated rankings. I'll watch him tonight. I like Dylan Sampson. So I need to see, because their rankings are not going to be like my rankings. So I'm going to do some scrolling to see what other guys are in consideration here. Other second round grades that I've already watched. Xavier Restrepo at Miami is a second rounder for me. So is Jaden Higgins at Iowa State. That's your Tet McMillan light. Tall, big receiver with good feet. Chris Paul Jr., I think I had as a 3, but I have seen him. Tyler Booker, I have as a 2, but I've already taken an offensive lineman. Isaiah Bond, a lot of people love. Explosive mover. Speed man. This guy, the Arizona offensive lineman, I already took one, so I'm not going to take one here, obviously. But a lot of people love him. He declared for the draft today. I'm going to try to watch him tonight as well. Deion Walker, okay. Henderson, 3rd round for me. Tez Johnson, 3rd round for me. Derek Harmon, Pro Football Focus is way lower on him than a lot of people. I definitely am not going to take him over Savion Williams. Quinshawn Judkins, hopefully I don't have to go beyond that to know who I want to pick. Vach loves Booker. I love Booker too. I've seen Jack Besh. Don't you think that I didn't watch? I went into watching TCU to watch Jack Besh, and it turned into watching both because I saw Savion Williams do insane things. And Besh is like 6'2", 218. Like they had a debate at TCU. Are we going to use him as a tiny tight end or a really thick wide receiver? And they went with wide receiver. Not a separator, but tough as nails, savvy route runner, pretty tough to deal with after the catch, blocks his ass off. Besh is a nice player too. I have him as a 3rd round guy. I think he's a safer pick than Savion Williams. But Savion Williams, y'all are going to find out. I can't say no. I can't do it. Offense. I have to take Scattaboo, don't I? Scattaboo. I got to take Scattaboo, right? We don't have a running back. What are the running backs there? I haven't seen Devin Neal yet. I got to take Scattaboo. That's fun. Scattaboo's too fun not to take. I have to actually do film on him again. I'll get that knocked out tonight. I need to watch this linebacker too. Yeah, we're going to take Scattaboo. We need a running back. Hey, new defensive coordinator. Good luck. Figure it out. I didn't get you any help. None. I got to screenshot this. I'll tell you what I don't need, Pro Football Focus. I don't need you on the screen saying, draft Ashton Genty. He's a better need for your team. Don't tell me what to do. I do this. This is what I do. Mock draft 1. Save. Didn't you say before you want a true receiver, not a project? Look, I always want a true receiver and not a project until the project is awesome. The project is too awesome. Where are you at with the other Iowa State wide receiver? Jaden Noel. I have him as like a 4th-round guy. He's a nice little slot guy. That's what I would say. I think he could be an NFL starter. I think I've started to devalue the slot guy who I think is only a slot guy and isn't like I'm going to dominate this league, kick your ass slot guy. That becomes 3rd, 4th-round thing. PFF is telling you what the chat does, just in case you didn't read it. You're saying the chat was telling me I was supposed to take Genty? Mike Green should already be gone by now, right? Don't know. That's a game that I'm not going to play too often this year. I'm going to try really, really hard not to play the game of this guy won't be there, this guy won't be there, unless I'm absolutely 100% sure about it, because I do remember doing mock drafts, and when CeeDee Lamb made it to 17, I would restart the mock draft because I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. And we just end up saying it about too many players and too many rounds, so I'm not going to do it. I will say that if I'm doing a mock draft and Travis Hunter makes it to 12, I may reboot that one. But is there a world where Mason Graham makes it? Sure. That world exists. I mean, his film is really, really good, but he's also a 3.5 sack, 3 technique in college. There's a world where offensive linemen go and corner, Genty, 2 quarterbacks, 3 offensive linemen, pass rusher or 2. Like, I can maybe find a way for that to happen. Restrepo is the slot guy that I thoroughly enjoy. Miami. Yeah. Chat like Genty. Mostly just, come on, chat. Let me make it. All right, new mock draft. 3 rounds. How can I make this change? What if I draft for needs less? And I go more randomness, and I go more public board, and I don't know. I just want to see different, Start. Full draft. Oh, look at that. Shador made it. Tet made it. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm reading the guys who have been picked. All right. I can't pick Kelvin Banks again. We're going to have to trade. I don't want to go to 24. Do you guys want to go to 24 just to see what it would look like? Just for the hell of it? Okay, Vance. That is what I do. It's not his fault he's a project. He's played a few years of receiver. And I don't want to pretend that he doesn't know what he's doing out there. Like, he just had to go save the season because they thought the running backs were terrible. So he went and saved the season. Anywhere this is a draft where no QB goes, like the EJ Manuel year. I guess it's possible, but there's just too many teams that need a quarterback. I do think it's a bad year to need a quarterback. Oh, you guys want to go all the way back to 24? Let's see what happens. We can do it. All right. That's going to cost you 24 and 56 at least. Hold on. Let me look up trade value chart. I have the actual one in a bag somewhere. All right. Trade value chart. I am giving you number 12, and you're the one who wants to come up. So you are going to overpay at least a little bit, but not too terribly unrealistically. So that's worth that. Your pick is worth that. Your pick is worth just over half what my pick is. Oh, your pick is going to cost you. Oh, yeah, it's going to be your 1, your 2, and your 3. Okay. I don't know if I know enough players for this. All right. Goodbye, all the players that were available. This is going to suck when I don't know enough players. Oh, boy, we are definitely picking a second-round player, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Who's ready for we got lots of needs, but we're going to fix them. We're going to really fix them right now. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. We're picking 24th. It's going to be a second-round graded player. We got no first-round graded players here. Omarion Hampton's a good running back. He's my running back number 2. And running back number 3 might have already been gone. No? Maybe they don't like him as much on Pro Football Focus. Where's the other? Oh, they don't like Caleb Johnson at all. Interesting. Why do they hate Caleb Johnson? All right. Don't show me any positions. Show me everybody. Jahdae Barron is Vach's cornerback 2. Oh, yeah, you can tell that we definitely have carryover audiences with the number of people immediately throwing that same name in there. I like him too. Is he my cornerback 2? Let's see. Where's my rankings? Well, no. Well, do you count Travis Hunter? Hunter Johnson. Oh, he doesn't like Will Johnson, I don't think. I could absolutely take him here. I could. But let's also check other positions and figure out what position is going to get rated and which one's not. Oh, this is trading down too far, guys. I'm looking at who's drafted. Oh, and Emeka Ibuka went 23. Punch me in the face. And Michael Williams went 21. Okay, so if we trade down, I could trade to 18-ish. Jalen Walker, 21-ish, 23-ish. We've gone too far and just barely lost all my first-round guys. Tyleik Williams I really like. He's a nose tackle, not really a pass rusher. I like Barrett. Walter Nolan I really like. He's a 3 technique. He is my absolute top of the second-round graded player, so I'm going to have to take him. Barron is an option, though. What are our picks now? We went down to 24. So you got R2, there 2, R3, there 3. Wait, 24. Yeah. 2 2s and 2 3s. What is going to get rated, and I won't have another chance at it? I want Walter Nolan, especially if – so Walter Nolan is 6 – I don't have his height off the top of my head. Was he 6'4", 6'5"? He's like 305 pounds. He's the guy that doesn't always put it all together, but like other D tackles. Kenneth Grant, 340 pounds. Run stopping guy, kind of push the pocket, so there's some pass rush there. Tyleik Williams is a little bit smaller than Kenneth Grant, but I think that he is more steady and solid and dependable in the way that you picture your run-stopping defensive tackles. That's so many plays. It's such a clean look of bang, 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 go. And Kenneth Grant's is more of a weirdly agile giant man just making stuff happen. We could take Tyler Warren. So, like, I like Williams. I like Grant. Nolan might be the least consistent of the 3, but boy, he is the most whip ass of the 3 too. I think he's my pick. I moved Dylan Gabriel way up. Savion Williams. Are we not going to pick Savion Williams this time? Walter Nolan's the pick. Okay. Jihad Campbell. There's a linebacker for yo butt. Oh, can we make this the defense draft? Is there anybody else that jumps out at me? Jihad Campbell is a linebacker that I liked, didn't love when I first watched him, and it was almost like I had to get back into my draft watching Groove, which happens to me because I'm just watching tape so differently during the year watching the Cowboys, but then you start watching the tape for the draft stuff, and I was like, throw him in the middle of the second round or whatever. And then I'm watching other linebackers, and I'm like, okay, he was better than I gave him credit for. Isaiah Bond, explosive Texas wide receiver. Did he declare? I don't know if he declared. Jaden Higgins, Restrepo, Williams. If you want to feel better about the wide receiver or safer about the wide receiver that you pick, it's not Bond or Savion Williams. It's probably more Restrepo, but he might be slot only, and that's scary. I need to watch him because he may be a choice here. You could also do Tyler Booker. Who did I take in the first round? I took a D tackle. I could take a D tackle and then a right guard, or do we want to let Brock Hoffman have right guard? Right guard or linebacker? I probably feel better about Booker than Campbell by just a little bit. What's our linebacker group right now? It's Leafau and Damone Clark. Kendricks is a free agent, and Buddy Johnson. We don't have any linebackers. I got Hoffman at guard. I'm going to pick a different linebacker if I pick a linebacker. Well, when's my next pick? I mean, if they're saying that's where he's going to get drafted, let's take a chance. Let Booker make it. That's why you don't take chances. Wait, he did make it. Yeah, he made it, right? Oh, he made it. You guys know I would absolutely take Savion Williams here. We don't have a running back either, and I do like Dylan Sampson. This is the problem with the Cowboys. I need both of these guys. I need Tyler Booker and Dylan Sampson, but I can get another running back, maybe, depending on how they fall. And I need to watch more offensive linemen. There may be another one that I feel good about later. We can pick a running back later. Brock Hoffman, you've got company, buddy. Let's compete. A scatterboo. I'm not picking. I just don't want to pick anybody twice. Feels wrong. What do we got? 2 picks left. I need to watch Royals tonight too. I feel way more comfortable doing a 3-round draft when I've watched like 6 more guys that I feel like people love in this range. What have I done? Nolan, Campbell, Booker. Oh, look at our SEC draft. D tackle, linebacker, guard. D tackle, linebacker, guard. Okay. D tackle, linebacker. I haven't picked a wide receiver or a running back. Horton. I haven't picked a running back or a wide receiver. If I had anybody that jumped out at me, I wouldn't care what position they played. I would just pick them. But I don't have that at the moment. So I'm going to pick a running back and a wide receiver. Royals. And I'm going to watch them tonight, so I can't help you. And I'm just going to take Devin Neal because I took Scatterboo last time, even though I haven't watched Devin Neal yet. And I'm going to let the internet fight it out on which mock draft was better. That's what we're going to do. How'd I do? They're grade A-. I don't care about your stupid grade. Our grade is, I'm better than you at this. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I crushed it. This is going to be mock 2. Save. Bang, bang. Get ready. My full ugly face is about to come back on your screen. You're about to get my face bigger. Stop sharing. All right, we did it. Did we trade down? We did trade down. You don't like Kenny Grant? I like Kenny Grant. Love all your shows, but not always your takes. That's fair. I don't mind that. You don't have to. What's the gap between Genty and Hampton? I got one as a first-round guy and one as a second-round guy, so there's a gap. What I think is close is Omarion Hampton, the North Carolina running back, and Caleb Johnson, the Iowa running back. That I think is close for running back 2. I think they're like right there. Barron is the player on the board. Nolan better than Grant. I like Nolan a little better than grab Jihad Campbell. Sorry, I didn't grab him. Their board is so jacked. Everybody's boards are going to be different, and that's cool. That's my number 1 rule. If you guys want a rule in draft world, according to me, don't worry about anyone else's rankings. It's fun to debate them and talk about them and do all that stuff, but don't worry about it. And if you want to be the best draft analyst ever, don't ever stand up strongly for any player. Say they're all going to suck, and you'll win. You'll do better than everybody else. So that's the thing. You watch Ollie Gordon? No. All right, I do got to go. I got to go watch guys. And I'm probably going to go to the gas station. I'm trying to quit. I got the patch on. Jerry openly saying he's just blocking Mike because he can. What a terrible person. Boy, if Jerry is blocking Mike McCarthy and they're not bringing him back, I mean, yeah, technically you can because you have an exclusive negotiating window, but if you're not going to use it to negotiate, what sucks is he's probably, and I do like shrewdness from a GM when it comes to player acquisition, but not when it comes to just being it doesn't matter. He could absolutely be using this as, look, I have your exclusive negotiating rights for another week. It's in the contract. Therefore, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to let you interview. I'm going to hope jobs get filled, and I'm going to hope that then you have to take my lowball offer because you don't have anything out there. He could be doing that, which is very shrewd. But I will never go to bat for Jerry. He's exhausting. And I think he's a sweet man for the most part. I think he loves his family, and I think he loves his football team. But boy, the ego required to act the way that he does in so many things. Jeff, thoughts? Savion from TCU? Oh, you're going to have to go back and watch the first mock draft, Steven. Oh, I love him. Oh, I love him. Okay. I'm going to go. We did it. We mocked. Now I'm going to go put him on the internet and see who the people like best. Your boy needs a haircut. Look at it. I'm just kind of pushing it over now because I can't really push it up. I got to take off half of this. What do you think? Take off half and then just do kind of the messy, or just push it off to the side and wait until I get long flowing hair down to here again. What do you guys think? Let's take a vote. Give Purple Mountain a shot to kick dip habit. Is that one of the fake dips? I can't use fake dip to help me quit. You know the worst part about trying to quit dip? This is look, if you're here for mock drafts and Cowboy stuff, it's done. So thank you for being here and have a great day. You know the worst part about trying to quit dip is when you realize Savion is the new Sky. I'm worried Restrepo is the new Sky too, because I really liked him. And when I tried to find comps for him, some of the things were saying Sky more. And I'm like, oh, my type is a bust. The worst thing about trying to quit dip is they have these nicotine patches. And these patches, the biggest one, step 1, is 21 milligrams of nicotine. Do you know how many milligrams of nicotine are in a can of dip, which is what I use every day? They say it's about 144. So it's about 7 times as much as the patch is going to give me. Should I be wearing 7 patches at once? No, the worst thing about nicotine is that addiction is a son of a bitch, and I hate it so much. Do you know how many times in my journal it says on the days when I pull it off and I'm not dipping and I'm going to bed at night and I write my little journal about how much more energy I have, how much more productive I am, how much better I sleep, how much better I feel, all the things. It's all there in black and white. I write it down. And that should be motivation to help you win and not go back to it. Still do. Sucks. How are you guys out there? How's your hearts and minds? How you guys doing? When's Jeff going to do his mental health podcast? Do I have to limit myself to just talking about the Cowboys? I could do it for the rest of my life. You know, you do enough work around something that's as big enough of a brain and you can do it for the rest of your life, but do more stuff. You leave therapy on a Tuesday and you're like, man, this stuff is more important than sports. Should I be talking about this stuff? What am I doing? What is this incredibly fake? It's not fake. Weird introspective thoughts at the end of a live stream. Huh. Anyway, DLLS tomorrow? Yes, DLLS tomorrow. It took a freaking pandemic to quit my 25+ year pack a day habit. Congrats. Good job, Uncle Creamy. You a beast. Got to use a patch in Purple Mountain. Change patches at noon. First week. Thoughts on Xavier Watts? Got to watch him too. I know he's right in the mix as a top 50 guy. Got to watch him too. I'm going to life is hard on all of us. We can help each other. That is true. Life is hard. Therapy podcast and a fantasy book podcast. Oh yeah. That would be lots of fun. All right. Honestly, I'm going to go buy a can of dip and I'm going to try again tomorrow. Thoughts on Restrepo, Jeff? I love Restrepo. He's the slot guy at Miami. He's like, what is he, 5'11", maybe 6 foot? Probably 5'11", maybe 6 foot. Probably 5'11", maybe 5'10". I forgot his height. He's like a thicker slot guy that's a super good get open guy, and I think is also a vertical threat, which is the difference for me in second round slots and fourth round slots. Is, are you a legit vertical threat, and do you have after catch? Because a lot of the guys have the quickness and the acceleration to get open and make plays, but do you have more? And I think he has more. So there's that. All right, I'm going to go. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, and I mean that. So be cool to everybody, and I mean that even though I fail at it all the time. I should probably apologize to Jerry Jones. Jerry, if you're listening, and he might be, I am sorry when I name call. When I name call, it's because I get to the end of a rant, and I've run out of things to say, and I don't know how to end it. And that's irresponsible and reckless, and I could just broadcast better. I do hate the way you run a football team. I think your gigantic sense of entitlement and ego is detrimental by this much in 10 different ways. And those 10 add up to this. And it's why you will never win another Super Bowl. And I think that sucks. Heavy kid, help me. Yeah, a lot of people I feel like got to quit things when they had a kid. And I don't think that that's a good reason to go try to fire a kid off in somebody. That's not a good way to phrase that either. Cowboys are like a tobacco addiction. You know it's bad for you. Just can't kick it. Yeah. Be cool to folks. I legit